Hi everyone, welcome to another video for Microsoft Access. Now today we're going to be taking a look at one of your worksheets, your revision worksheet. So I'm going to be taking a look at all the practical section questions, and to do that we need to open up the store database. So without any further ado, let's get started. Let's take a look at this. So let's take a look at the store database. So here it is. I'm just going to click on Enable Content and I'm going to take a look at this. Now, before I get started, there's one thing that I want you to take note of. Now, this database has been set up to work a bit differently. So if I open the customers table, as you can see, every object in the database opens in this windowed format, and I don't really like that. So there's a way to fix this. All you have to do is click on File, and then go down to Options. And from here, you need to choose the second tab, Current Database, and just click on Tabbed Documents. Click OK. And now all you have to do is reopen the database. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to close this. And I'm going to open the database one more time. And let's see if that worked. So there you go. Now we have it in tabs, which is a bit easier to work with. And let's take a look at the very first question. So the first question says that you need to open the customers table and set the most appropriate field to become the primary key. So I'm going to open the customers table and I need to go to the design view to choose the primary key. And there's two good choices for a primary key. It could either be customer ID or product ID, but since we're working with the customers table, I'm going to choose customer ID for my primary key. So I'm just going to click this button and that should do it. Now I'm going to press save, and I'm going to close this table. Now the next question, question 8, asks us to open the items table, and then it asks us to add a validation rule to the price field to basically just not accept the price 0. So to do that, we need to go in the design view, so view, design view. I need to find the price field, so here it is. And I need to go to the field properties right here at the bottom and find the validation rule, this one. Now, to tell Access that I don't want to accept the value 0, all I have to do is just type in not 0, and that should do it. Some of you might know it a bit differently. You can even do this to not accept negative, 0, but I'm just going to stick to not 0 because I think that's easier. Now let's take a look at the next question, which and we're going to hit save. Yep, that's fine. Now question 9 asks us to enter validation text. Now the validation text for the price field should say do not accept the value 0. Validation text is the error message that will appear if I try and enter the value 0. So let's just take a look at what happens if I try and do that. I'm just going to go back to datasheet view. I'm going to add a new field here, so I'm just going to put some random numbers and letters. I don't know, ham. And I'm going to just try and put the number 0 here. And I'm going to press enter. This is the validation text. Currently, we don't have any validation text, so Access writes its own. This is not what we want. So I'm going to press escape, delete that, and go back to my design view. I'm going to go to the price field, and I'm going to write the validation text from your question, which says do not accept the value 0. Oops. There we go. I'm going to save it, and let's try it one more time. Let's see. So I'm going to put random numbers here. We're going to say ham again, and I'm going to type 0 now. Let's see what happens. So this is what it says, do not accept the value 0. So that's perfect. All right. So I'm going to save that, close the table, and take a look at question 11. No, sorry, question 10. Question 10 asks me to create a filter for the items table. So to do that, I'm going to click on the items table, and to create a filter, we're going to click on Advanced, and then we're going to click on Advanced Filter and Sort. This should open up a window that looks just like this one, and this should remind you of what queries look like. Now, we need to create a filter for the food names. So I'm going to double click food name. And in the criteria, it wants me to show food names that begin with a B. So I'm just going to type in B, and I'm going to hit that asterisk. Okay, and then we're just going to click anywhere else. There you go. And that should work. So this should show me anything that begins with B, and anything else can follow since we put the asterisk. Now, before you think that you're finished, don't save this item. Click on toggle filter, and it should take you back to the items table. So take a look at this. Okay, and now the items table is showing every food name that begins with the letter B. So butter and bread. Now the question wants me to save this filter, so all I have to do now is click on save, and I'm saving the table with the filter and not this. Don't try and save this. If you do, it's going to ask you if you want to save it as a query, which is not what we want. We want to save the table so that we can save the filter. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open the items table one more time. And so that you can see that we've saved the filter, if I click on toggle filter now, what we just created should work. Let's see. There you have it. So let's take a look at question 11 now. Question 11 wants me to basically sort the items form. So I need to find the form items. Here it is. I'm just going to open that, and it wants me to sort it by product code in descending order. So to do that, all you have to do is highlight the value in the product code. So make sure you highlight it, and then click on the descending button. Now you're going to see that the first record currently is butter. If I change the sorting and I put this in descending, the first record now is bread. As you can see, number 1 of 5 is bread. That's all you have to do, but don't forget you need to save and then close your form. Now let's take a look at question 12. Question 12 asks you to add a new field in the discount table. So let's take a look at the discount table. Currently, my discount table has a product, a price, and a description. Whoops, it seems as though I've already done this question. Let's fix that. Yep. So you should see something like this in yours. So you should only see product and price. And we need to add a new field called description. So we need to add another field here. Now don't get confused. The top items here, product and price, are the fields. And this entire line and this one are my records. They're two different things. To add a new field, we need to go to the design view. And we need to type the field name. In this case, the field name is called description. And the data type should be short text. And it also asks us to change the field size to 50. So here's the field size. And I'm going to change this to 50. Now I'm going to press save, go back to my datasheet view just to see if it worked. And there you have it. We've got a description field now. Just save it one more time. Let's close it and see what else we have to do. Let's take a look at question 13. In the customers table, move the customer spend field before the last name field. So I'm going to open the customers table. I'm going to find the customer spend. Here it is. And I need to move this before the last name. To do that, all you have to do is select the customer spend like so. Highlight it. And then click and drag all the way in front of last name, like so. Once you're done with that, click somewhere else and then press the save button. Okay, close this, and let's take a look at the next one, question 14. In the customers table, find the record 60 and change the first name to Leonard. So I'm going to open the customers table one more time. And to find the record 60, do not look at anything that's written here. This doesn't matter. This is not how we find the 60th record. To find the record that has number 60, the 60th record, you need to click here at the bottom and type the number 60 and press enter. Okay, and this is the 60th record. Now, it says 61 here as a customer ID. This has nothing to do with which numbered record it is. This isn't a numerical value. If you see it, our table, our customer IDs start from 1 and they go 2, 3, 4, 5, and they skip 1. It goes to 7. Almost every question you see in your tests or your exams, if you're asked to delete a specific record or to change a specific record, and you can see a field like this one, it's 100% a trick question. Do not look at this value here. Type what you're looking for at the bottom. So type in number 60. Find the record that you want, and we need to change the first name to Leonard. It seems that I've already done that. So all you have to do is just type Leonard here and click on Save. Let's take a look at question 15. In the customers table, make the first name field to always accept data. So I'm in the customers table, and I need to go in the design view. And I need to locate the first name field. Here it is right here. And I need to make this field always accept data. To do this, we need to go in the field properties at the bottom. And we need to find the field that's called required. And we need to swap that from no to yes. Like so. And I'm going to click save. And it's going to give me this pop-up. I'm just going to click on yes. And I'm going to close the customer table. Let's take a look at question 16. Create a simple form that will include all fields from the item details table. So to create a form is quite simple. All you need to do is click on the create button and then find the button that says form wizard. Here you go. And all we have to do now is find the table that the question wants us to find. The table that we want to use is the items details table. So this one. Be careful though, it's asking us to use the table item details. Don't get confused and don't use this one. This is a query. We want to use the table. So here it is, and we want all the fields from this table. So I'm just going to click the double arrows, and then I'm going to click next, next one more time, and I'm going to change the name to whatever it asks me. So it wants it to be called item details without a space, and I'm going to press finish. That's it. So I'm going to close this, save it, and then close it. And we're going to take a look at question 17. Question 17 asks us to open the item details query and delete the country of origin field. So here's the item details query. There we have it. So it's got food ID, fat ratio, weight, and country of origin. We want to delete this field. To do this, you have to go to the design view, and then you have to select country of origin and press the delete button on your keyboard or the delete button up here. Okay, so I'm just going to press the delete button on my keyboard and it's gone. Okay, so I'm going to save this and run it one more time just to check. So we've got food ID, fat ratio, weight, but no country of origin, which is perfect. Now, let's take a look at the next question. Question 18. Question 18 asks me to select the items table and export the items table in the Microsoft Excel format as items XLSX. Okay, so to do this, all I have to do is I have to right click on the items table like so and click on the export button and then click on Excel. Now, I need to put this in the correct location. I don't have the folder that you guys need, but to export it somewhere, you click on the Browse button. Don't change anything from here. Click on the Browse button. Then I'm going to click on Desktop, and I'm just going to call it Items XLSX, and I'm going to press Save and OK. Once I've done that, I'm just going to click on Close, and let's just check my desktop. So here it is. It's been saved on my desktop and I can continue. Let's take a look at question 19 now. Question 19 says modify the criteria of the customers query to show only customers who spent less than 5. So let's take a look. So here's the customers query. Okay, and I need customers that have spent less than 5. Now, I'm going to click on Design View, and I'm going to change the customer spend to less than 5. And I'm just going to run this. So there's no results. So this can mean one of two things. Either I've made a mistake, or there's actually no customers that have spent less than 5. So to just check that, I'm going to go back to the design view. I'm going to get rid of this, and now I'm going to run it. And let's take a look at the customer spend here. We're looking for a customer that spent less than 5, and all I see is a bunch of customers that have spent 7 euros. So of course, my query wasn't wrong. Okay. And it's just a matter of not having any customers that have spent less than 5. I'm going to save this and take a look at the next question. Question 20. Open the customer's report and change the orientation to landscape. Save and close the report. So I'm going to open the customer's report here, and I'm currently in the print preview of this report, and all I have to do is just click here where it says landscape. This will change the orientation of this this report into landscape. So here it is. Click on the Save button and close. Let's take a look at question 21. It says, open the food report and add a label containing your first name to appear on the right-hand side of the record. So here's the food report. I'm going to open this. And as you can see, it's open in print preview. This is not what we want, so I'm going to click on close print preview. Okay. And then I'm going to right click on the food and open it in design view. Now, I need to add a label to appear next to all the products, to every single product. Let's take a look at that one more time. So this is my report. These lines of text here are my actual records, and I want my name to appear next to every single one of them. Okay, so I want you to look at this part here: product ID, product code, product name, and item price. These are our titles, and these at the bottom are our records. Now notice how our titles are in a blue color. I'm going to close this one more time, and I'm back in my design view. And I'm going to make this a bit bigger so that my name will fit. Can you notice that these are the labels that we were talking about just a second ago? They're blue. So I'm not going to create a label here in this section, but I'm going to create a label right under it here. To create a label with my name in it, I need to click on this button here that says label, and now it's become gray. And now my mouse cursor has become this plus symbol with a capital A, and I'm just going to drag and draw a little box that's going to have my name in it. I'm going to type in my name. There we go. And I'm just going to click somewhere else now. So here's the box that I'm talking about. Just going to make it a bit bigger. And I think that should do it. Let's take a look back in print preview. So I'm going to click view, print preview. And there it is. My name's next to every single record. Okay. So I'm going to close this, save it, and close that. And let's take a look at the question 22. Question 22 says, by using the customer's form, find the record with last name Jones and first name Andrea and delete it. So I'm going to open the customer's form. Here it is. And we need to find the customer that has a first name Andrea. So to do that, we need to click on Find and take a look at this. If I type in Andrea now, okay, if I type this in and I leave these settings as they are, it's going to look in the current field. So it's going to be searching for this name in the customer ID. Now that's not what I want. So if I was to fix this, all I would have to do is I would click here that says look in, and I would say look in the current document. So it would look in everything on the customer's form. Okay, so if I press find next now, it's already found an Andrea. Okay, and I think this is the one that we were looking for. So, yep, that's definitely it. So I'm going to press cancel here. And to delete this, all you have to do is click on this bar here, this entire bar. And when you do, it's going to become black, like so. So this means that this record is selected. And all you have to do now is click on the delete button and press yes. That's it. So if we search one more time for Andrea, we won't be able to find Andrea Jones. So it seems like we can't find any Andrea. Let's see if we can find any Jones. So we found a Jones, but it's Mary Jones. I think that's all we can find. So we've successfully deleted Andrea Jones. So I'm going to press save, close this form, and let's take a look at the next one. Question 23 says, open the discount table and change the font color of the results to orange. So let's open the discount table. Here it is. The results, guys, are basically everything that we can see on the table. So all of these are the results. So to change their font color to orange, I'm going to click this button here in the corner to select the entire table. And then to change the font color, make sure you click this button here and not this one. This will change the background. We want to change the font color. So click here and find the color orange. I think this one's it. Yep. And click it. And there we have it. All of them have turned orange. So I'm going to press save. Whoops. And I'm going to close the discount table. And I'm going to take a look at question 24. Now, question 24 says, create a query using the item details table showing all items. Okay, so it's telling us to basically show all the records, all the fields of the item details table. So let's do it together. So let's click on create. And let's click on query design, like this. And now we need to click on the item details table. So this is the one. Okay. And we need to show all the fields. So I'm going to double click every single one, like this. Okay. And now let's take a look at what it wants us to show from these fields. So it wants us to find all of the items which have their country of origin as Ireland and that have a fat ratio of 12 grams. Now, what I advise my students to do usually is before I put any criteria is to actually take a look at the table. So I'm going to click on run and I'm going to look at the table. Now we need to change two things. We need to make sure that we're showing anything that has 12 grams of fat ratio. So we're looking for something like this or this, okay? And we're also looking for any field that has a country of origin as Ireland. So we're looking for this one. So realistically, what we're looking for is 3 results, 3 records. This one, and this one. So our answer should be 3 records. Now, to do this, you have to be very careful when you're reading your question. It asks for fat ratio of 12 grams. So I'm just going to type in 12G. If you're not sure what to type here, run it again one more time and look at the fat ratio. So take a look at fat ratio. We're looking for this. So I need to type this exactly. You can even copy it if you want. So I'm going to go back to my design and paste it. So we're looking for 12 grams. And the question says, the question actually says Ireland as their country of origin, or, and that's the very important part, or fat ratio of 12 grams. So maybe I should do it in the order that the question says. Country of origin is Ireland, or, so can you see here in the criteria we have criteria and or 12 grams. So I'm going to type in or 12 grams. Let's run it and see if that worked. There it is, 3 results, just like we predicted. Now, we need to save this query as Ireland underscore 12G. So here it is. And click on OK. Now, I'm just going to mention this one more time. If you're not sure how to write your criteria, always look for clues in your table. So always run your query even if you don't have any criteria written down. This will show you exactly how to write things like 12 grams. So here it just writes it as 12G instead of 12 grams as I've been mentioning it. Okay, and if in case you make any misspelling mistakes, so always find what you're looking for, so Ireland, and you can copy this into your design. Right. So I'm going to save this one more time, close it, and we're going to take a look at question 25 now. Question 25 asks me to read. Sorry, before I answer question 25, I get a little warning on my handout. It says read 25 questions 25 to 27 before you do them. So I'm going to read question 25, question 26, and question 27. So question 25 wants me to create a report using all fields from the discount table. Question 26 wants me to group the data based on the product. And question 27 wants me to add the total of the price field and save it and save the report as the discount report. So let's get started. I'm going to click on create and I'm going to look for the the report wizard button. Here it is. And now all we have to do is find the discount table. Oh, it's already selected. If it wasn't, you can just click on this button here and find it. And it wants everything from the discount table. So I'm going to click the double arrows like this. And I'm going to press next. Now, remember that question 26 said group the data based on the product. So I'm going to click on product and I'm going to click on this arrow. So now it's created a group. And now we're going to press on next. And here, usually, most of the times you get asked to add some sorting to your report, but in this case, it's asking for you to show the total of the price field. So to do that, we need to click on this button here at the bottom. It's called Summary Options. And when I click this, to find the total of the price field, the total is basically the sum of all the things in price. So if we're asked to find the total, we're looking for the sum. If we're asked to find the average, we're looking for the average. If we're looking for the minimum or the maximum, here they are. So I'm just going to click on sum because this is what the question wants. And I'm going to click OK and next. It doesn't ask me for any orientation changes, so I'm just going to click on next again. And now I need to call this discount report. So we've got discount ready. And I'm going to click on discount and type report. And then I'm going to click on finish. So this is what we get when we're done. I'm going to press the save button and close this and see what else we have to answer. So question 28 says open the customer's report and sort the data by last name in ascending order. So I'm going to close this report since we're finished with it. Close it. And I'm going to find the customer's report. Here it is. Now, to sort this report, I need to open it in Design View, like this. And to sort it, don't be afraid. Click this button here. It's called Group and Sort. And from here, you can see at the bottom, it's asking me, what do you want to do? Do you want to sort? Do you want to group? What do you want to do? Well, now we want to add a sort. So I'm going to click this. And I'm going to sort it by last name. Okay. So here it is. Whoops, I think I selected first name by accident. So I'm going to sort it by last name, and I want to give it an ascending order. Now, ascending order is A to Z. So we want A to be on top. If it said descending order, we would want Z to be on top. Since I'm happy with that, I'm just going to press save. And I'm going to go and check it out on print preview and see if it worked. So there we have it. The first last name that we see begins with a B. And as we keep on going, you'll see that the last name we see ends with a D. So we're clearly working in ascending order. I can even go to the last page and see that the last record we have has a last name beginning with a W. So this is definitely correct. Click on save and close. Now, let's take a look at question 30. Question 30 is asking for another query, and it's asking for a query using the last name and the first name fields from the customers table and food name from the items table. So it's telling us exactly what we need to show. It's asking for last name, first name, and food name. Now to do this, we need to go to Create, Query Design, and we need to find the table that it's asking for, so the customers table, and also the items table. Okay. And now we need, in the order that the question said, so we need the first name, then we need, whoops, that's my mistake. We don't need the first name first, so I'm going to delete that. We want the last name. Let me just double click that. There we go. Last name, first name, and we also want to show the food name. The food name is in the items table, like this. Now, it's saying then, show the records that have 4 letters in their first name. So let's take a look. Let's run the query before we do that and take a look at what results we will expect. So I'm going to run the query, and I'm looking to show only first names that have 4 letters. So I'm looking for things like Paul, not Billy, not Godos, Fran, etc. So obviously there's quite a lot of names here, but we know what to expect. We're looking for names similar to Paul's that have 4 letters. To do this, we're going to go back to Design View. We're going to click in the criteria for first name. Okay, and we're looking for records that have 4 letters in their first name. Now, to represent letters, we use the question mark symbol. This question mark symbol represents 1 letter. Since we're looking for names with 4 letters, we need to type in 4 question marks. Now, let's see what happens when I try and run this. When I try and click away, Access is giving me a syntax error. This means that I've written something wrong. Now, for this to work, we need to add quotation marks around it. Now, let's click somewhere else and see if that worked. So Access has now understood what we're looking for, and it means that it's probably correct. Let's click on Run and see if we get any results. So there we have it. We have only names that have 4 letters. We have Bert, Andy, Jose, John, Carl, Paul, etc. Now I'm going to save this as 4 letters. This is the name that the question wants, so here it is. And I'm going to click OK. Right, let's take a look at question 31. Question 31 is saying, by using the customer's form, add a new record with the following information. So I need to close this query, and I'm going to go to the customer's form. Here it is. So I'm going to double click it, and I need to add a new record. For me to add a new record, all I have to do is click on this button here, and it will take me to the very last record in my form. And I need to add the following information. So customer ID, it doesn't tell me what to write. So I'm going to go to customer spend, and I'm going to type 6. Whoops, 6, not 65. I'm going to give it a last name of Lefkaridu and a first name of Mariku and the product ID of 4. That's it. All you have to do now is click on the Save button. All right, cool. Let's save this and close it. And let's take a look at question 32. Question 32 says, in the customer form, change the font of the title, customer's form, to be bold and italic, and then close the form. So to do that, I need to open the customer form again, but in Design View this time. And to change the font of the title to bold and italic, I need to click on the title once until I see all this orange border appear around it. And then I need to click on Format, and I need to click on Bold and Italic. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to press Save and change the view. So I'm going to click Design and then go to View, Form View. And there it is. It's changed now. So we can save and close this form and take a look at question 33 now. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to close it. And let's take a look at question 23. It says open the discount table and remove the default value from the price field. So here's the discount table, and I'm going to remove the default value, this number here that appears by itself, from this table. So to do this, all we have to do is go to View, Design View, click on the price field that has a default value of 0, find the default value, so here it is, default value, and just delete the 0. Now I'm going to press save, and let's go back to the datasheet view, and there it is. We have no 0 in the new records. Perfect. Save this table and close it. Take a look at question 34 now. It says create a query using all the fields from the items table. Show only the records whose food ID is 2 or 4 and their price is greater than 3. Save the query as items query. So let's click create. Let's click on query design, and we need to use all the fields from the items table. So I'm going to click on items, and I want to use all the fields. So I'm going to use food ID, food code, food name, and price. Okay. And then I need to change food ID. So it says whose food ID is 2 or 4. So I'm going to click on food ID, and I'm going to type in 2 or 4. Actually, before I do that, let's run this and see what we're looking for. So we're looking for this or this, and it says that their price is greater than 3. So basically, I think the only answer we're going to get, so we're looking for 2 or 4, this one and this one, and their price has to be greater than 3, so we're going to get meat as an answer. So let's take a look. Let me just type in 2 or 4 and see if that works. Oops. Let's run it and see. So there we have it. 2 or 4 is now appearing, but we also need to add the other criteria. So we need to say that the price is greater than 3. Okay, and now I'm just going to run it, and see, here it is. So our answer was meat. Now I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save it as items query, just like your question once, and I'm going to click OK, and we're going to take a look at question 35 now. So it says open the discount table and save it as a table with the name discount copy. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to open the discount table, and to save this table as something with a different name, you have to go to File, Save As, and we're going to click on Save Object As. Okay, so if I click this, now all I have to do is click on Save As, and I need to call it whatever the question says. So discount copy, like this, and click on OK. So now we have discount and discount copy. So if you get asked to save a table or some of these other objects with a different name, all you have to do is go to File, Save As, and then click on the Save Object As. And then once again, click on Save As, and it will let you do it. Let's take a look at the final question, question 36. It says apply enforce referential integrity to the relationship between the table's customer and items. Make sure that the related records will be deleted. Okay, so to do this, let's close everything now, save this and close it. And we need to go to Database Tools and Relationships to see our relationships. So I'm going to click this, and now we're looking for the relationship between the customers table and the items table. So between this and this. So this is their relationship, and I'm just going to double click this line between them, like so. And I want to enforce referential integrity, and I want to click on these two. This is to delete any related records, and I'm going to click on OK. That's it. Right, I'm going to save my query, and this revision handout is finished. Now, I hope everyone's enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have found it helpful. Now, if you have any questions, you guys know where to find me. I'll be looking forward to them, and I wish everyone good luck. Thanks for watching.